There's only one thing I don't like, which is pretty good.
Snapchat image doesn't match all the others.
I forgot to tell you guys something. It's really important. I don't want to type it. me, oh my, the interwebs does not like Shervasa tonight. I don't know. Did you hear that slowdown, guys? Or was it just me? Sounded like it wound up and just ran out of juice. Maybe it was just me. Alright, well, anyway. What episode is this? 86? Yeah.
I'm like that. We're old as
We're
balls.
old school. 86. EP 86. So, welcome to Ladies of the Roundtable, episode 86. Tonight's show does not have a title as of yet. Couldn't think of anything good.
Why is my head so big?
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah. Let me scoot my chair like way back.
I told you I cut your forehead off.
Forehead? My head looks like 1,000 billion big.
We look like bobbleheads.
Hey now. Alright, so we're gonna title the show Bobbleheads. That's what we're gonna do. Big head girls, that's what it's gonna be.
I'm totally scooting my chair way back.
With giveaways. Welcome. You LORT Legends in the channel, thank you so much for consistently coming back. Week after week. Joining us for our silliness. As you can see, Pixie's in the house.
Hey.
Holly is in the house.
Not like you can't see my head or anything.
She's got a complex. Toxic Tiff is not here. She is at PAX South. So if you are listening and you're going to PAX South tomorrow, well, then you'll be able to see her. Don't forget to say howdy to her. She'll stop and she'll talk to you. She's a very personable young lady, and she won't give you the shaft or the sup not. You know, she'll talk to you. But in her stead, we do have a guest. Sorry, my computer's slowing down. And tonight's guest's name also happens to be Tiffany. Imagine that. We did that on purpose, guys. Tiffany Rhoades is here. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. So I'm going to let Pixie tell you what the chat hashtag is for tonight before we get started with our guest info.
So our hashtag is going to be hashtag grills.
Let me see your grills. Yeah,
Real
your grills.
Such BBQ, much wow.
And then also chicken with chat.
Alrighty, so right now in chat we have, if I can get Twitch chat to load.
Yeah, Twitch has been real good.
Oh, Twitch, why do you hate me? So right now we have currently unavailable. Please try again later. Thanks, Twitch.
Well, that's what happens. Rip.
Ripperito, rest in pepperonis.
Oh, that Twitch chat, yo. Well, guys, we know who you are. Maybe we'll catch you a little bit later. I see Donald Gump. Let me see if I can get it.
I'm too busy making sure my head is not massive anymore, so I have it full screened, looking at myself in delay.
Alright, you can look at yourself. It's okay.
So I can't say hi to anyone in chat right now once I make sure my head's not massive.
I made her traumatize you guys.
Oh, football! Join the nation. Welcome to the nation.
Oh, welcome to the nation. All right, so our guest tonight is Tiffany Rhoades. Tiffany or Tiff, which would you prefer? Because I'm just going to keep saying it, apparently.
Either is actually fine.
Okay.
Ooh, let's do Tiff.
All right.
We can do that. Let's do Tiff. So Tiff is coming to us as a geek gamer. She's titled herself that, or labeled herself that. So she's just like family, the rest of us geeky gaming people. And she serves as a program developer for Girl Museum. Girl Museum is one of the only museums in the world dedicated to celebrating girlhood or womanhood, whichever you prefer. You could call it what you like, but they curate exhibits for girl gamers, STEM girl, and other girl-related items. It doesn't have to be necessarily just gaming, but girlhood, if you would like to define that for us, Tiffany.
Girlhood is generally the period of life before, I like to say before you're 21. It's that really young period, really formative period in your life of experiences. And we kind of hit 21 as a cutoff point because in most parts of the world, by then you're an adult. But girlhood really can just extend into your entire life because everything that happens when you're a little girl impacts who you are for the rest of your life.
And can you tell us where the museum is located?
Completely online. We are at completely online. Girlmuseum.org. We have absolutely no physical space. We are just a bunch of historians, art historians, museum geeks, gamers, STEM girls from around the world. I mean, we have people in England, China, New Zealand, here in the US, and you name it, we probably know somebody there.
So guys, we're going to be throwing up that link in the chat so you can go give a visit if you'd like to go give a visit and a follow same Twitter as Girl Museum. So that's easy peasy for you. Also, please note that Girl Museum is all run by volunteers. Just like most organizations, these people are giving up their time freely to help out with this organization. I'm sure that, Tiffany, correct me if I'm wrong, at some point on your website you will be taking more volunteers if someone's interested in helping out, or there may be something already there.
Yes, we actually are open to volunteer and intern applications at any point in time, and partnerships too. Basically, if you're willing to put in the time with us, we'll look at your resume, and once a month our board decides who to bring on board.
So we're going to get into the portion where we have questions for you. And chat, feel free to jump in there. You know what that hashtag is. Girls, real girls. And you can ask some questions to ourselves or the guest. This portion is for the guest only in the next 15 minutes or so. I have a question, and I would like to know, is there a criteria for taking on things for the museum? And if there is, do you have a board that decides what goes onto your website or into the museum, or how is something selected or chosen, or is there categories?
Okay. Our main criteria, really our only criteria, is that it has to be girl related. So that means history, art, culture, anything you can think of, as long as it relates to the lives of girls somehow. So like for Gamer Girl, one of the exhibits I've done, it was, we want to do STEM fields and gaming, but we need to focus it on the experiences of girls. Not necessarily exclusively, because we did include a lot of male voices and we had some absolutely fabulous contributions from men. But it really focused on how we can make gaming more diversified and inclusive for girls specifically. Generally, it's actually between myself and our head girl, Ashley. And then we also have Katie and Sarah who help us with communications and have been there a little bit longer than I have. So they do have, say, we're all kind of the core group. And our newest member, Hillary, who's the education advisor. And kind of between all of us, we'll toss ideas around and say, is this girl related enough for us to handle? And how can we fit it in? Is it an exhibit? Is it a program? Or is it a social media campaign? So that's really the only criteria is that it's got to be girl related.
Interesting. So it's safe to say that this site is female only, or are there programs that you have related to the male gender?
We don't have any programs specifically geared towards men, but all of our programs are designed mostly for use in classrooms. So especially our participatory projects, Heirloom, our podcasts, our Why I Game series, even though they're all girl voices at the moment, we have been trying to get guys to come on board and lend your voices. Tell us, for Why I Game, it's simply a blog post that we feature and we put in our quilt page and go, why do you game? How has it impacted your life in a really positive way? Help us showcase that gaming benefits everybody. And we'd really love to get more male voices. So that's something that I'm actually, as program developer, focusing on, is how can we make our space more inclusive, but still stay a museum dedicated more towards girls and showcasing their history.
Where did you get the idea for this?
It's not actually my idea. Ashley, our founder, is the rebel child of the group. She is Little Miss Rebel. And she was an art historian. She worked in museums, and she discovered that girls really don't get represented in museums. There aren't a lot of exhibits dedicated solely to us. There aren't a lot of collections that focus on the role of girls. I mean, you look in, like, say, the Met's collections in New York City, and yeah, they have a lot of girls there on display, but they don't actually talk about the lives of girls and what made it different, even though throughout most of history, our experiences have been significantly different from men. So she created this as a way for us to start investigating that and displaying it for the world to see and try to change the conversation in museums to be more inclusive for women.
Sorry, talking with the mod. You guys in chat, if you have any questions, throw them up, please.
Yes.
How long has the museum been around? That's a good question.
We just entered into our 7th year, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Just started. Yeah. So the first couple of years were kind of rough, but in the past 2 years, we've seen just huge growth and a lot of new interns coming on board and a lot of new projects starting to get developed. So it's been really big the past couple of years.
How do you guys feel about the response that you've gotten?
50-50. We have a lot of people who go, I don't understand this. I don't understand why it's needed. I don't understand just the fact that you're in the virtual realm, which kind of surprises me because everybody's so, you know, the YouTube and the Twitch bandwagons, it's all virtual and everybody gets behind it. So it's like, why can't we get behind the idea of a museum that exists in the virtual realm so that it's open 24/7 and you can visit whenever you want and in your pajamas and
with snacks.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exams.
So that's kind of one side of the coin. And then we get the other side of the coin of people who go, this is amazing. Like, I had no idea this stuff existed or that it should have existed. And a lot of our exhibits draw on the new Creative Commons stuff, you know, all the other collections that have been put out into the world on the web that are free. And we're sitting there going, okay, we're going to show you what's in the Met that relates to girls. I went to the Met a month ago and it's amazing. Like, every room I walked into, I was just amazed at how many girls were in there, whether it was little statues or tombstones or paintings. And it's like, what? Where's the story? You're talking about the guy who painted it. I want to know about the girl who's in it. So we really get two sides of the coin. Some people who don't think it. And then, of course, on the side, we get the haters. Which generally, yeah. Okay, nice to see you. Bye. But
are you guys officially a nonprofit, or is that something you're striving towards?
We're officially a nonprofit. We are registered in the U.S. Yes.
We have a chat question from Donald Gump. What is your positive message to young girls?
Our positive message that you can do anything. That's our core message, that no matter what the restrictions are in society right now, we can overcome them and we can create a world where you are free to be exactly who you are and lead the life you want.
I love that. You also have a yay, Tiffany. Hello from Orc Bear game night.
I knew they'd be tuning in. Hi, guys. That's my normal Friday night gaming group. I am.
Oh, so we're seeing you live from your gaming group.
I was like, I'm assuming you'll know what that is, so I'm going to say it.
Well, thank you all for tuning
Kidnapped
in.
her.
Supporting your
Sorry.
friend.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We stole her, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, not sorry.
Is my
Well,
mic
you guys-
really quiet?
You're
No.
actually fine, and we don't hear that
Okay.
static that we normally hear.
Oh, well, next time I'll just sit 10 feet away from my table.
No, I'm saying it might not be you.
Oh, it's Tiff, because I don't hear it.
I'm saying it might not be you that we always accuse the static coming from. So I think we've eliminated.
I said it was Tiff last time. Nobody believes me.
It's the
I
other Tiff.
freaking
Breaking news,
knew it!
guys. It's not Holly.
Hashtag
That's a
blame
t-shirt.
Tiff.
Hashtag not Holly.
Hashtag blame Tiff. That's what
Hashtag that Beezy. Yes. Okay, back on topic. I have a great question.
Go for it.
So something else, Tiff, that I thought was absolutely amazing is your blog. I think your blog is beyond fascinating, and it's packed full of so much incredible information and history that I feel like is like, yeah, it's cool to look at, but it's so critical for people to know about. So I just want to thank you for all of your work that you do, really with everything. But what I want to know is, what is your personal driving force? Like, what is your main motivation for all of the work that you do for women in gaming?
My main force. Well, I've been a gamer all my life, but a few years ago, I ended a very abusive relationship. And it was a relationship in which my interest and my skills in gaming were sidelined, to the point where it was literally, I was sitting on the couch watching him. Like, even though my KDR in Modern Warfare 2 was way higher than his, it was something that I wasn't even allowed by him to play games, to play Skyrim, to get myself lost in that. And when I got out of that, gaming was a driving force in kind of getting me back out into the world and getting me to realize that I could be happy and I could be successful. And I kind of came out right around the time Gamergate happened. And it really just inspired me to go, I don't want to sit here and be another voice, calling out everybody. I want to be something that inspires people and that shows them, I started reading all these books, and admittedly, most of the gaming books out there do not include women. And so I was like, there's got to be something. And then I started researching museum collections for Gamer Girl. And I just found there's stuff dating back to freaking Neanderthal times of women gaming. And it just became something that I was like, somebody's got to tell this story. And as somebody whose voice had been silenced for so long, it just kind of became this force that I know I have to do this. Like, I don't see anybody else doing this, and it needs to be said, because if we're going to prove that girls have been and will always be integral to gaming, we've got to start from the very beginning. We've got to start from the first dice, the first statues that show girls playing games, whether that was out in the street or board games. Egyptian tomb reliefs of board games exist with Nefertiti playing games. I mean, for somebody like Nefertiti to have played games is huge. And that's where all of this, where Gamer Girl and where Loading Player 2 have just come from, is this mission of, I know about it, I want to tell everybody else about it, because I feel like there are going to be girls out there who see this, and even if I never see them and never meet them, they're going to see this and become inspired to at least start trying to play games and trying to find that passion in themselves that makes them want to get up every morning.
When I thought, it's so funny, when I thought of this question, I knew that you were going to say something that was deep seated, because when I read your blog and I see what you guys are doing at Girl Museum, it's very evident that it's not just something that you enjoy and this is cool, but it is a passion of yours. So I absolutely love that it comes from such a deep place, because I feel like when we have that passion and when it comes from that deep place, then we're able to, people are really, it's real, it's genuine, and I feel like it just shines and pours out of you, and I absolutely love that. And I can't stop saying how much I love what you guys are doing. I think it's absolutely freaking cool. I was learning so much from your blog, and I've been in the gaming industry for 13 years, and 90% of what I was reading I had no idea about. And that is the whole point, is these things need to be known. People don't know about them. People even in the community don't know about it. Females don't know about it. And it's important that we know about it. And the education is so critical. So I could talk to you for like 10 hours.
Thank you.
I would agree with Holly. One of the things that I found fascinating, looking at the site, looking at your blog, looking at the other places that you are other than those two, because if you go to your Twitter, there's lots of goodies on there to tell you where you can find where you are getting your credentials from. So you're a multi-talented person. I love the fact that not only are you inspiring, but you're educating young girls. And for me and for our mission statement, that is amazingly in line with what we do, because the fact that you're educating the girls about women who have come before them and blazed a trail, and or women in history who maybe this generation would never know about or learn about in school in this context, which is their context, right? Young kids today, gaming, they're all about gaming, electronics, the tchotchkes, everything comes together, but yet they're not looking back. They're looking forward. So this is an amazing way to get them to stop and realize that this is still connected to their future. And that's such a enormous feat for you and your group to be able to do that in the way that you have, because kids run at such a fast pace nowadays. It's very hard to get them to stop and think beyond a beep, a noise, or something electronic. So I give you kudos for that.
You want to know one thing that's cool, and I think this is encouraging for kind of Tiff, what you're doing and also what we do. On Sunday, I was with the kids and we were sitting in a circle and we all went around and shared like our favorite thing to do. And, we started with me, Miss Holly Ann, and I'm like, gaming. And then we go to Connor and Connor's like, video games. And then we get to Kendall, and Kendall was like, gaming. 10 years ago, I was laughed at. I was sitting at lunch by myself. I was made fun of that I was traveling and playing professional tournaments. Nowadays, the boys and the girls, they were all like, wow, this is so cool. We have this thing in common. And to me, that shows growth. And I feel like it's really hard to see that sometimes because of where we are at and we're not kids. But it's so cool to see that growth in the younger generation. And so that's why I think it's so cool what you guys are doing, because now is the time. Like, I feel like younger boys in that age group, they'd be super interested to hear about the history of gaming and girls in gaming, because their sisters are gaming with them and their friends are gaming with them, and it doesn't matter their gender of their friend, they're just gamers. And I just think that that's so encouraging.
It really is, and it's actually really fascinating, because in running Loading Player 2, I started out with this focus on girls, but it's slowly kind of evolving to be almost a hidden history, because like my recent post was the dice in the Met. And okay, yeah, girls could have played with it, but boys did too. They both would have used these sets of dice. So to see objects and things that don't just represent girls in gaming, but represent the fact that everyone played games together is so huge. And I think it's something that we really need to see more of, because the next generation is definitely becoming more inclusive than, say, ours has been.
Yeah, I love that. We were all unified gaming together at one point. It's like, when did we lose that? When did we step away from that and start segregating? And, we talk about this so much, even in, I'm primarily in esports. And in esports, it's very much segregated. You have your girl teams that make way less money, smaller prize pools. The ability might not really be there because the opportunity is not there. And then you have male teams that are making 10 times as much. It almost seems like something from the 50s. I feel like we have so much more growth to see in esports. But then there's also other things that are encouraging with the future generation that's coming up and rising up. And that's why I think what you guys are doing is so critical and so cool. I'm going to tell my kids to check it out. I think it's great.
Thank you.
I find incredibly interesting about this as a whole is it's not just the perspective that like women have always been involved in video games. It's the perspective that video games and games in general have always been a tool that have brought together a community of people. Yeah. And it's interesting to see that holds true if you let it.
It really does. I mean, like, something that I've seen a lot of, like, in Gamer Girl, one of my favorite examples was actually it's a little side graphic about Skyrim on the online version, and about how when one player died, his brother marked the last save point in his game. And other players actually came together, both in the online version and in the real version, and created mods to honor this one place in the world that this gamer had finished his game at, essentially. And it's just, to me, it's incredible, because there's no gender to it. You have no idea who these players are in real life, but they all come together, and gaming really just gives us the space to let go of gender and gender conventions and just exist together and enjoy something and be able to even express our grief, our shared grief at events like death, and to help ease that burden in other people's lives. And that to me, that's incredible. It was probably my favorite graphic in the entire exhibit.
That's such a powerful and amazing story that we just don't get to hear in mainstream media, right? How gaming brings people together like that in such a pivotal way, but it's a small act of a group of people. So it's mind-boggling. We hear about the gun violence and how some people in legislation think that it's related without being educated, but we don't hear stories like that. And the reason why is because we as a community need to come together and spread those stories and share those stories so that they do get picked up in mainstream media, because I think that tells the tale of the people that we are, right? Not the people that we're perceived to be. Sorry, I'm fixing the overlay because Pixie's forehead was chopped off.
Yeah.
I don't know why the focus is the forehead. Who cares about the forehead? It's the fact that your head is this big. Your head
is not that big.
My head's not that big because I'm 25 feet.
All right,
from
I've got this idea, and I'm gonna fix it.
Listen.
All right, I'm gonna put my cousin on the stream.
Oh,
So,
there's
my cousin. It's fixed.
epic.
I mean, literally, do you guys see my arms straight out? My
Yes,
computer's
I do.
not even there.
I see you
Not even there yet.
It's okay, you look fine.
I do now because I backed that thing up. I backed it up.
Oh my gosh. Is there some more chat questions? I'm telling you.
No,
you
there
run
isn't.
production
I'm
next week,
watching.
You do it.
A question that I have for you is, there are always going to be naysayers. Can you, if you feel comfortable with it, can you give me one argument that naysayers bring up and what you would like to say to them?
I'd say the most common one I've heard is that girls can't be as good as guys in gaming. To which my answer normally is, throw on Modern Warfare 2, you're about to get your ass kicked. Like, I can be just as good as you in anything. And even if I'm not as good as you in one thing, you're not as good as me in something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I like, to those sexist haters out there who think that women should sit in the kitchen and everything, I dare you to go 1 month without a woman cooking you dinner or cleaning your house or doing any of the other things you think she should be doing, because I can guarantee that you probably don't know how to do any of them. And if you do, well, you just proved that a woman could probably do your job too.
She said, I dare you. That's what happened.
I tend to dare haters. I tend to get very confrontational, which is one reason I'm glad our Girl Museum does not engage with haters.
I do, alright? I just look at people and I go, what, you don't think I can be challenge accepted?
Let's do it.
You know what I love about haters, especially when they come in the channel, not saying there's any in here right now, but my favorite thing is all it does is bring more views, more people talking about it, more recognition, more media. I love it. So I'm like, bring it, bitch, and let's go 1v1 in Counter-Strike, because I will dominate you. So.
Don't do it unless you want to die.
Donald Gump said he wants to play me 1v1. I'm gonna make sure.
This is, this is something that I think.
Butthole rocked.
I think that I'm gonna.
In more ways than one.
I'm gonna put that in our sub perks. You sub, and you get on the list to be scheduled to go 1v1 with Holly in Counter-Strike. All right, you heard it here. I'm gonna put it down there. You get on the sub list, and you will get scheduled in the rotation to get your face shot off. I mean, it's gonna happen. You think you're
Don't
good?
worry, guys. You have a chance. I've only played for 13 years, and I was.
You have a chance.
I mean, you have a chance.
I mean, it's all right.
You have a shot.
Yeah.
A very small shot.
Hey, you never know. Oh, Donald's wanting it tonight.
Hey, Donald, we don't see any sub.
Yeah. First off, no sub. Second off, my mouse is broken.
My mouse
And
is broken.
I don't want to tell you the real story because I think deep in my heart I know the real story.
360
But
zero,
I
no
was
scope.
in the middle of a scrim, and I was 38-5, just saying, as I was getting made fun of. And all of a sudden, my mouse scroll wheel just stopped working. It's barely spinning. And for those of you that know, I'm a left-handed mouse, so I have a special mouse and like very wacky controls. So then I couldn't switch my weapons. I was freaking out. But I think I may have like slammed it down on my desk. I don't know if I did, but I may have rage quit. So no 1v1 till my mouse gets in. Razor's working on it. So
All right, Razor's working on it. So, thank you for that follow. I think that we're gonna move on to the hot topic portion of the show because we got 2 topics, and I don't think Pixie, you didn't bring one this week, right?
It
You
did.
did? I'm
And
sorry, I didn't look in
So
the.
cool.
I didn't look down in the show notes. So, well, without further ado, we'll let Pixie go first this week.
Yo, okay. So here's the thing.
She's
Video
ready.
games are constantly leveling up in the real world. It's a fact. So first you have like Wii, and then it goes to Wii Fit, and now they're introducing video games to rock climbing. This is real, it's happening. They're doing essentially like speed running video games for rock climbing. It is the coolest thing I have ever seen. And it's done with like a projector, a computer, and a laptop. Like it's super simple, super easy. But the whole idea is that you like speed climb and you like level up in game, and it's just so cool. So there's a link for it. It's from Wired. I don't know if anybody likes Wired Mag. I love Wired Mag.
I get that.
But I will throw the link up in chat. It's super cool. Like
So, does this? Are you telling me that this is linked to now? Will be linked to mobile apps?
no,
So
okay.
as
So you
in-
literally go to a rock climbing
Right.
facility
I get you. You do the physical action,
and you climb a rock wall and you
then
like level up
you
and
level up
you-
in the app for the actual Fitbit or whatever the device is.
at the facility.
At the facility.
It's
Oh,
all-
I was thinking you were telling me that this is now going to link to my what is it, Flappy Bird or whatever else I have. So which would be amazing if I'm doing a physical activity in real life, like if I meet my step goal.
I'm
and
sure you
for the
probably
day,
could.
That
I'm
somebody
sure
might
at
want to
some
develop
point
that
there's
because I
probably
think I
gonna
just had
be
a
like a
brilliant idea.
crossover there where like you could link it to your Fitbit and you could be
Right.
like, oh, this is how fast I did it in this time trial, because they call it time trials. I call it
Right.
speed running because that's essentially what it is, speed running. Well, speed climbing.
So what about those of us who don't want to climb up a freaking wall?
I'm sure they'll come up with other stuff. It's interesting because like the
Alright.
guy who created this is like, I've also thought about building like a Flappy Bird style game for climbers.
That could be a bit dangerous. Not saying play in the
Like-
street. Tiff, what do you think?
I am not personally a rock climber, so I'm kind of on board with the. What about those of us who prefer to stay on the ground? Like, can we project it and I pretend I'm climbing? Because I would do that.
Oh, you can
But
cheat,
actually,
right? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do this motion
I'm just gonna
the
go up.
whole time.
Yeah.
There's always
I mean,
a
I'm
way
still getting
around.
my exercise. Come on.
Wow. Holly, what do you think?
I'm like way too busy focused on chat.
Alrighty.
Sorry. What do I think? I think what it's all about is being relevant to the culture and where people are at, and this is where people are at. So I think it's great.
Rock climbing is where people are at.
Rock climbing and gaming and like leveling up.
Leveling up.
So
you're
combining-
level up experience.
I think
Yeah,
it
so you're
helps-
combining
Right.
two things that people enjoy that they do together into one and just meeting the culture where it's at,
Gotcha.
which is
That makes
electronics
sense. That
gaming.
makes
I
sense.
also think it helps like break the stereotype Because there is still, and there will always be the stereotype that like we're all like nerds who live in our parents' basements and like don't have real lives and no friends. And like the more that stuff like this comes out and happens, the more we like prove that's not the case.
Ooh, breaking news, utterly random, just hit the channel. Everybody give random
Random!
some love. Random! Welcome back, buddy. I could see how this would have the capability to go pretty far into our everyday lives with a lot of other things, which would be interesting to keep an eye on it. And we'll report back later as this progresses, because this is fairly new, right? This is a beta program. Is there a way to sign up for the beta program?
I don't think you have to sign up.
Okay.
It's at like an actual gym. It's
West Coast?
Brooklyn Boulders.
Well, okay, that's not near me.
At their augmented reality rock climbing wall.
Might be where Holly is. You know, everything's out there in Cali. We might have to send her on a field trip.
I'm down. I've lost almost 11 pounds this month, baby. I can climb.
Well, we didn't have no doubt that you could climb.
I'm 6 foot tall, so I'm halfway there.
I was gonna say, look cute doing it too.
I'm halfway there at 6 feet
I
tall.
rock climbing, but I'm pretty sure that like all the little pieces are too far apart for me to reach.
Yeah, you would have to be on her back.
Being tall is an advantage for rock climbing. I've done it before, but I haven't done it in a year. Like it was like a youth group event. So
let me tell you, if I am picturing Holly at the rock climbing wall, and I picture her going up, getting about halfway, and then pull out her cell phone and be like, I'm up here.
That is real life.
That
is real life.
Of all selfies while she's up there. And styling and profiling, let me tell you, a girl's got it going on.
Hello.
We're going to move over to Holly's topic.
Okay, so I like really have two because I did mine 2 days ago, but then the whole Mattel Barbie thing happened.
Oh, well, you could save the Barbie for after.
Okay, we need to talk about that, so I'm just throwing that out there. Whoa, I just touched my mic. Sorry, Mike. Okay, so best topic all year. I want to see PC master races from all over the world commenting in chat as I share this topic. So be ready.
Be prepared, guys.
Be prepared. Prepare your body. So they say that right now, the PC is the world's biggest gaming platform. Did you catch that?
Repeat that.
PC is the world's biggest gaming platform right now. Okay. So a new report shows that PC gaming generated more worldwide gaming revenue than any other segment of the market last year. So SuperData's worldwide digital games market report they sample data from tens of millions of gamers, as well as publishers, devs, payment providers. So they were able to get the best estimates of overall spending on downloadable games. And here's what it looked like in 2015. PC gaming is, quote, an undervalued platform, contrary to the amount of attention that is generally paid to mobile gaming. Total revenues from the PC gaming market is larger, 32 billion, than that of mobile. Mobile's at 25 billion. If anything, this data undersells PC gaming potential because it doesn't even take into account retail sales. And now we know retail sales are a small part of the PC gaming market because remember back in the day, GameStop would have like 10 million aisles of PC games. Now they have like 10 if you're lucky. But the worldwide market for console game software, which is still very dependent on disc sales, was estimated at 25 billion. 25. PC 32. So something interesting to know too. So yes, I'm a PC gamer, but as you guys know, I'm a FPSer. So don't get your panties in a bunch. But the most popular PC games generating all this revenue are a lot of the free-to-play MMOs. Yep. So the MMOs account for more than half of all PC gaming revenues in 2015.
Because
17
of the cash shop?
billion. Say that one more time.
Because of the cash shop.
That's what I
Because
think.
most MMOs are free to play, right? So
Yep.
cash shop is how they make up their money.
Yep. And then social network gaming, so like stuff on Facebook, is another 25% of the total revenue.
That's huge.
Pretty
Wow.
freaking incredible.
Those
So
numbers are amazing.
amazing. And like, I am so sick and tired of hearing people say that PC gaming is dying. Like, I'm done hearing it. And now I'm really done hearing it. So if you are like me and you're done hearing it, hit your friends with these facts, not hit them. Like, that would be
No,
bad.
throw
Hit
your
them
computer
with
at them.
the facts.
Like, actually pick up a
Yeah.
book of these facts and hit
Yes.
them over the head.
Write
with
the facts down and smack them in the face with
it.
Sometimes it feels like you want to do that, but I do not endorse that. We do not endorse that.
Literally, you could be
I endorse
tagging and tweeting at them on your social Twitter or social media, and drop the mic. You know what I'm saying? Because it is now factual evidence.
No, just pull a Neil
PC
deGrasse
mastery.
Tyson.
It's real. I'm going to link it for you guys right now for those of you that want to drop the mic on your friends. I'm going to link it in chat for you guys. It's pretty amazing.
That leads me into my topic. I think that is amazing. So, Pixie, what do you think? Excuse me.
We all know I think PC gaming is master race. So, like, it's not at all shocking to me. At all shocking. The thing that people forget is they're like, oh, PC gaming is dying. No, it's not.
No.
Because basically what's happening is companies are trying to turn their consoles into computers. Look at the Xbone. Look at, the PlayStation. Like, they're all trying to turn them into a computer, essentially. I'm sorry. Like, I like my multiple monitors and my nice little swag keyboard and my mouse. Like, I'll keep my PC. I'm fine with it. And the thing that, like, people are structuring video games for things like PC, like League, HOTS, MMOs. They're all free to play with cash shops, where if you want something specific, you've got to pay. And that model works, and it sells like big money.
Yeah. And Counter-Strike too. Counter-Strike right now is only $14.99. So people see that and they go, "Oh, PC gaming's dying because the new NBA 2035 billion is $60." But they're making their money on CS:GO on skins, not on the game.
I'm gonna go to Tiffany before I make this comment. So Tiff, go ahead.
I 100% agree. Like, I'm a recent convert to PC gaming. And
Yes!
I started Skyrim on console. Like, I was PlayStation all the way for like a decade.
Oh, wow.
And I started getting back into the Xbox and everything, but then thanks to my fiance, I am now hooked up on PC, and like that has solved so much of our gaming problems. Like, Skyrim and I have an ongoing long-term relationship now.
It's so good on PC.
It is. Oh my god! And the mod, like, I am a house mod freak. Like,
Yes.
Give me the house that has all my pretty little labels, so I can have all my trophies and know what I need to go get.
Yes.
Like, I need to have that organization in it.
Yes.
And then, like, we're also on. We started Torchlight 2, which.
Yes.
Like, him and I are having so much fun in that, and like my sister's gonna get on it. Like, it is, and it solves so many problems. Like, there were so many games on PlayStation where we're like, we want to play this together, but we need a second PlayStation.
Oh, you're speaking Holly's language.
Like,
no,
I don't want to buy another PlayStation, guys. I want to buy the PlayStation 4 because, admittedly, I have not yet been able to afford that thing.
Yeah, and everyone's saying the PCs are expensive.
Dude, no way.
No
way.
And I haven't upgraded my computer, my dinosaur computer, for 5 years, and I can play all the latest hot to trot games. So I don't want to hear that it's pricey. No.
Yeah. I got my PC for just under $1,000, custom built.
See?
This thing can handle any game I want, and I work from home on it. Like, I'm like, my entire life is on this one machine.
Yes.
Donald Gump, you are correct. Every time Shriv takes a shot, you take a shot. That is the name of the game.
Every time Holly says yes. Do I say yes a lot?
So
Yes!
drunk. If we did that, I would be
Okay, listen. It's because I'm positive and encouraging, okay?
I couldn't make it.
Okay.
All the vodka would be gone. Anyways,
I'm drinking water too, just to clarify. I'm not drinking shots over
I would
here.
be blitzed. Yeah, shrimp drink shots every show. Yes, I do. It's an adult-oriented show. I like it.
Hashtag
Like that.
judgment
It's
set.
a work week, people. It's my Friday. I'm spending it with you. Raise your glasses. Go ahead, sing that song. Shots.
Raise that hydro.
Shots right up in your head.
Speaking of sponsors, Hydro, hook it up.
Hydro and edible arrangements. Where you at? We're still hollering at you.
Still waiting.
Arrangements, why you don't love us?
Still waiting.
We want to be
We love
healthy in
you so much
2016.
because you're so tasty and you just don't love us.
People comment on our sponsors all the time. Can you imagine if we had edible arrangements on our sponsor bar? People would be like, who is sponsored by edible arrangements?
There would be
We are.
so many happy, healthy gamer smiles we don't even know, right?
Yes. I said yes, take a shot.
Oh, damn it.
I feel so great. I don't even drink, but I'm forcing other people to.
Okay. My comment on this topic before I got derailed with the fact that Tiff is in agreement with Holly about the non-co-op having console providers, because I was attempting to convert to console play so I could play with my mini, but there is nothing to play. I'm like,
okay, thank you. And Cyclops just said a PS4 is only $350. There's no freaking games, bro. There's no games.
as well as my other comment
Sorry.
I was going to say before I got derailed with the no co-op, which is true. Games are effing expensive. I have Destiny, right? Want to play. Then Taken Kings, another $60. Now there's going to be another DLC, which is going to be another $60. So we're dropping $60 every time a DLC comes out. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, thank you. That's a second job when you have a teenager in the house and a gaming spouse. We would be. I gotta go to Plasma Bank to get my games. I gotta donate plasma every week so I can have gaming. What the hell? Come on.
Wow, you donate so much plasma. Why?
I mean,
Games.
seriously.
Video games. I've got to have the new latest high crackness.
I mean, if they would just put the Plasma Bank next to the GameStop, we just go right next door. Come on. It's serious. PC, you're right. I can play the game for free, have the game for free, and then do cash out, or get the game for a minimal of maybe $30. You rarely see a game that's like over $30.
You know what game's expensive right now? Dying Light, and it came out a long time ago, and I played through it. Not on stream because I wasn't streaming, but I'm going to be, so I'll play through it again. But it was really expensive. I got it for free because they let me test it out. It was great. Loved it. Beautiful. Chris is like, I'll get Dying Light and we'll play together. And I'm like, yeah, like I haven't played it for like a year. It's still like $60.
Well, there are some things like MMOs that can be expensive because you're paying for the 50.
But Dying Light's an FPS.
And then sometimes they have the subscriptions, right? Excuse me, on top of that. So yes, that could be very expensive. But I think the subscription model is dying out when you talk about PC gamers and MMOs.
Yeah, look at WoW.
I'm a big MMO person. However, a lot of the PC games, when you're paying that $50 to $60 or even $80 range, you're getting a collector's edition. So that means you're getting a little bit more bang for your buck, but you can always make that judgment. Do you really have to have the tchotchkes that come in the big box?
Well, and you almost always can get them on sale. Almost always. If you're willing to wait a little bit, you can get almost any game you want on sale. I got Injustice, the Gold Collector's Edition, paid like $6 for it.
I don't. So okay, I have to say this, Cyclops. I work with low-income families, and most of them can't afford the consoles either.
Yes.
So first off, I just want to say that. I do not think PC gaming is more expensive. I've been doing it for 13 years. Like I said, I've had my computer for 5. It's old, it has not been updated, and it plays every game. So
part of why people think PC gaming is so expensive is because when you think of PC gaming, like a lot of these people aren't thinking of building their own PCs. They're thinking of buying like an Alienware or an Origin PC
for like $3K.
You can build a low gaming PC for like $300.
Yeah.
You just have to know what you want to play, what you want to do with it. You got to understand the.
But if you play games, you have a buddy that can help you with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If you don't, Pete,
we're
throw
here.
up that Discord command in the chat, please. If you don't, we have our Discord community, which we are now Discord partnered, that is open to everyone. LORT Bar and Grill is an open community where we share advice on gaming, Twitch, streaming, and or just someone to chat with. So you're not alone, guys. There's a whole community of geeky, nerdy people out there that will talk to you about everything from PC gaming, console gaming, board gaming, to some of the things like what Pixie does is go to those places where they have the RPG inside in a real building where you run around and whatever it is you do, because we don't have those over here on the East Coast, but they're migrating.
Oh,
this way.
those lock-ins,
lock-ins.
they're hype. Let me tell you what, as a gigantic nerd, I love them. I don't know if anyone else has ever done these, but you get locked in a room and then you have to like find all of these clues and solve all these puzzles to like get out.
Hold
And
on.
you have to do it within a specific period of time.
Escape rooms. I've done 4 this year already, and it's January, and I'm doing one for my birthday. My birthday's February 21st. We're doing one February 20th.
Is that on your YouTube?
This is why my girlfriend.
No, you're not allowed to even have your phone in the room with you.
That really sucks. I would.
Yeah, but then it would ruin it for everybody.
Like, you're not allowed to do any. Like, you can't have your phone. You're not allowed to like.
Aw.
If you don't know something, like, because there was
It's
one
legit.
where like I had to solve all of these like crazy math equations, and I was like, oh, I don't even know how to do that. I'm like,
I'd be locked in there for days.
Okay,
formula.
I do not mean to toot my own horn, but the reason I'm saying this is because I suck at math. Everyone knows this. Anyone that's watched the show knows. I have gotten most valuable player on the last 3 escape rooms that I've done. Like, I go into those things. Yes, there was, and I was doing it. And here's why I think, because I see it as a game. It is a game. So I go in there and I'm like Miss Gamer of the Century compared to my 3 sorority sisters.
Oh, that's a little different.
And I'm pwned. I love them.
Cyclops says he does not disagree.
If you've never done an escape room, do it.
I don't disagree, but
It's
I'm just saying the
every
demographic
penny.
of the platforms
They
are
can
very
be
different.
very expensive.
Do you really think Cyclops' demographic for PC and console is that different?
I completely disagree with him, like everything he said. But I love you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy
love
with
the
you.
conversation, Cyclops. Keep it coming.
I
That's
love
a
you.
good question. I personally do not think the demographic is drastically different. I think that the purchasing demographic may be different because most PC gamers are adults and most console gamers are kids. If you look at primary purchases, it's a parent purchasing for their younger child who is under 18, in my opinion. Now, we cannot substantiate that without Toxic Tiff being here, who is on the retail side, because she could tell us probably straight up what she sees coming into her store. But Pixie, what do you think about that?
No, I agree with that, and I think that's why the demographic is different. Because you're not going to have, like, most people's parents, unless, you know, you're, like, the child of someone who grew up in my generation now. Like, most parents aren't going to know how to build PCs because they're going to be parents who grew up without computers, basically. They're going to be, like, technologically behind, so they're going to go for what they think is easiest and least expensive, which is going to be a console. That's not always the case in all reality. PCs actually have a higher startup cost, but they have a higher payoff in the long run.
Pink, I know you play console, and I know you're not a small child, but I'm saying majority of people who purchase the consoles, in the United States at least, purchase them for younger children, younger kids in their house, which are, and or college students. That, you know, a lot of times they do have the Xbox
and military
because military. They're watching TV on it, and because it does so much. Like Pixie said, it's like a small computer. I think that the generation that sticks to gaming on PC is my generation, to be perfectly honest. Tiff, would you agree with that? That you think that they are equal, or do you think they're, in your opinion, one maybe more than the other as far as adults?
I think they're probably closer to equal, but I think the perception here is that parents are probably more likely to buy a console because they think, oh, they can't get on the internet, they can't do all this other side stuff that you can on a PC and get in trouble.
Most parents don't understand a PC, so they're like, I'm not going near that thing.
That's just it. They don't understand, and PCs are becoming so complex. I mean, especially in order to run some of the higher level games. And at the same time, they're looking at the PC going, I don't want my 5-year-old on the internet, but I'll let them play, whatever's on the
Plants vs.
place.
Zombies 2. Yeah.
Yeah. They can get on the iPad and things. And I know enough about that because it's a slight, I wouldn't say simpler platform to me, but to them, it might be like a simpler platform to input those parental controls to.
It is.
Interesting.
It's
Great
very
question. Great question.
I missed the question.
Oh, with the question. Well, we were just commenting on.
Oh, okay.
Where you left at the same time. You already answered it. Was the ratio from PC?
But I do think demographics are slightly different. I also think if you look at the demographics of what people are willing to spend, I think console gamers are less likely to spend the amount of funds that PC gamers are willing to spend.
You think?
I think so.
What would substantiate that?
Steam sales.
Oh, well, all you gotta do is say a Steam sale, and we're all broke, so... If you
I
take
think
Steam
it's
out of the equation, I don't know if that's necessarily correct.
I think if you look at the majority of gamers who are heavily into PC, we're not running crap PCs.
Yep.
Like, we put bucks into our computers. It might not be, like my last computer was like $3,000. And this one's only like, this one, when I rebuilt it, it was $1,000. So, like, we're willing to put in big bucks, but we also understand that, like, we get better payoff from it, I think.
And I think it depends. I think it depends on the family.
Startup costs, whereas I think console gamers aren't as willing to spend that startup cash.
But then they buy $80 games.
I would agree, Holly. I think it does depend on the family, because in my case, the reason why we have the Xbox is not because of the gaming. It's because I was wanting to use it for the apps for TV. I want to have my Hulu and my Netflix and all that kind of stuff versus...
Get a Roku, baby!
Oh, I had a Roku, please.
Come on. And Xbox?
The Xbox had the things that I wanted in the gaming, because Minecraft was in the house. However, we started with PCs with my junior achiever, and she is primarily a PC gamer. If she had her own, which we're going to build it, she would be on that PC versus the console. That's her preference. So I think that because we were PC gamers in the house as adults, that's where she migrated to. And she can do a lot more of her own dev work and coding and developing on that than she can on a console. A lot of parents don't understand that either. Kids are on the Xbox, but they can't manipulate it as much as they would unless they're getting a Raspberry Pi, and that's a whole other conversation. I want to roll into my topic because we're running in 20 minutes here. We'll be wrapping things up. My topic, and if one of you ladies could throw up the link to IGN, which is where I pulled the story from. It was reported today. Yeah, that big old link. The Witness game developer is very frustrated. And why he's frustrated is because people are